Breaking news, former President Bill Clinton is now in his third hour of closed-door testimony before members of the House Oversight Committee. He's the most high-profile person to be deposed under oath as part of the panel's Jeffrey Epstein investigation. The proceedings are taking place in Chappaqua, New York. Democratic Congressman Suhas Subramaniam is a member of the House Oversight Committee, and he joins us now from Chappaqua. Congressman, thank you so much for being with us. I was just speaking with an attorney for Maria Farmer, who put in that first complaint about Jeffrey Epstein back in 1996 during the Clinton administration. Of course, it went to the DOJ, but James Comer has said that Epstein visited the White House 17 times during that administration. Epstein was also an unindicted co-conspirator in a prosecution of a Ponzi scheme by DOJ. Has any of this been discussed, questioned in this deposition?
Yeah, without getting into details about specific questions, generally we went in with a plan to ask him about not only the flight records where he's using Jeffrey Epstein's plane or the pictures where he was in the files, but also details about things like that and what happened during his presidency.
And did you find his answers sufficient, clarifying? Did they shed light on those questions you asked?
In general, he's been very cooperative. He's given long answers to many questions.
Well, not in general, in specific, to the one we were just
20,
discussing.
30 years ago. Well, I can't get into specifics right now because the deposition's still going on. And what we do want is for the transcript of the deposition to be released as soon as possible so that people can see the answers to all of the questions.
And as well, there's this discrepancy about whether he visited the island. Virginia Giuffre, when she was alive, said she saw him there. Steve Scoley, an employee of Jeffrey Epstein's on Little St. James Island, said he saw him there. Doug Band, the top former advisor, a very close advisor to the president, said that President Clinton had gone there. Have you asked about that?
In general, we went in with a plan to ask about that and did plan to ask about that today. And I think once the transcripts are released and we can get into specific questions, certainly people will see his answers to those questions. And again, he's been very cooperative. He hasn't taken the Fifth Amendment. He hasn't skirted questions. He's answered everything he remembers and has done his best to remember.
So Congressman Comer came out and said that Ranking Member Garcia had asked Clinton about whether they should be talking to President Trump, and that President Clinton basically said that's up to you, but that Trump had never really given him a reason. They discussed it and hadn't said that he was involved in anything with Epstein. I am paraphrasing, by the way. I just want to be clear on that. Garcia said, he took issue with that characterization, and Congressman Frost tweeted that President Clinton brought up a conversation he had with Trump in New York City about Epstein. President Clinton said that Trump told him that he had a falling out with Epstein due to a land dispute. This directly refutes Trump's claims about why he fell out over Epstein. So while I respect that you're saying we'll have to wait for the transcript, Congressman Frost is talking specifically about what happened here. Can you talk about your understanding of what Frost is saying here, that this directly refutes Trump's claims?
Right. Since Chairman Comer did bring that up, I can specifically address that, which is basically President Clinton was asked about he brought up the fact that he spoke with President Trump at a golf event, and President Trump had told him that he and Epstein had a falling out, and it was because of a land dispute. It wasn't because of what Epstein was doing to girls who were working at Mar-a-Lago. So it absolutely does dispute something that President Trump has said. I think Chairman Comer had mentioned that President Clinton cleared or absolved President Trump of anything, but that's not true. The reality is all President Clinton said was that anything of all the things he heard from President Trump himself, nothing he heard would indicate that President Trump was involved in wrongdoing. Again, the transcripts will come out, but I can't confirm that that's what was said.
So are we, when will we expect a transcript? Are we expecting video? Do you have any concerns about the video? When will we see that of Secretary Clinton and of former President Clinton?
Well, what we wanted was a public deposition or a public hearing, and the majority actually denied that. And so we would like to see the transcripts released immediately, unedited and they're full. But we don't know why this couldn't have been public in the first place. I think that would have helped with transparency, and the American people would have been able to see the Clintons answer all of these questions.
All right. Congressman Subramaniam, thank you so much for being with us. We'll obviously be waiting to see what all we get our eyes on when it comes to this deposition with Bill Clinton. Appreciate it. Boris?